Good afternoon. My name's Jim, and I got a story for you. Years ago, they all start years ago. I don't know. Sorry. A long time ago, Colleen and I realized that we could speak to our relatives in the afterlife. Once this revelation presented itself, we started to explore our family history, the Finnegan history. And there's a secret, a family secret. I've heard of such things just like you have. Didn't believe it. But we discovered, number one, that our great-grandfather, the first Jamesfinnegan, was on the roof. We didn't know what that meant. We explored it. It took weeks for us to figure out what it meant. He was being punished. Nobody wants to be on the roof. Everybody wants to be inside at night, just like us human living people. He was on the roof. He died in 1927, and so he was on the roof about 100 years. The only thing we ever knew about our great-grandfather was that he was a drunk. Big time, capital D. And he was a huge man. He used to drink at the Campbell Saloon in Fox Chase, part of Philadelphia, Oxford Avenue. And he won a bet by picking up a loaded hay wagon. I don't know what a hay wagon weighs, but it had to have been ugly. That's all we knew about him. And we double checked with our mother, who's still alive, who is the family historian, not only for her family, but for our father's side of the family, the Finnegan family. And she confirmed they were the only two things that anybody knew about the first James Finnegan. He's the son of Peter, who, Peter's the first one that came over from Ireland just before the Civil War. So we have this James Finnegan, and he's in trouble in the afterlife. We're curious. We ask and we ask. They talk a lot of crap on the poor man. He's not liked. There's a good reason he's up there. Now, we've heard of other punishments in the afterlife, like our father went through being behind the walls, which is a form of hell. It's not permanent, but it's a form of hell that our father went through for about 5 years. But this man, until recently, was on the roof. We were eventually told that Colleen had the power to get him off the roof. Colleen's nickname in the afterlife is Immortalita Girl. She is a force to be reckoned with. I don't mess with Colleen. And I don't advise anybody to, including her children who are watching this. Colleen apparently had the power to get him off the roof when she arrived back in the afterlife. Colleen and I, in studies, we keep pressing the subject until they finally tell us what the family secret is. He killed a guy. He murdered a man in Philadelphia. Some debate goes on about that subject. The vast majority of the people in the afterlife in the Finnegan family call him a murderer. There are, of course, some people that say it was an accident. It was just an accident. Considering how long he was punished by being on the roof, tells us really it was murder. It wasn't an accident. But if you're a heavy drinker, things happen in bars. God knows I owned a bar for 31 years, a couple of them. And yeah, I've seen some crazy things, but I never saw somebody kill someone. So we gained that family tidbit. I don't know who all knew that secret. There's nobody alive that knew that secret. My mother was astonished when she heard that story. But we press the subject now about him being on the roof and Colleen being the person who can get him off the roof eventually. Well, somebody beat Colleen to the punch. A gentleman by the name of Abdul, an Arab man, is in the middle of the Finnegan family. The Finnegans are completely surrounded by Irish groups. How did an Arab infiltrate that and have the power or the prestige, whatever it is, to get the great-grandfather off the roof after almost 100 years of being up there? We did, of course, start looking into that. It's a very curious subject, how Abdul, an Arab, got wrapped in to this Finnegan family. But it happened, and it's the next video. Hey, before you go, subscribe, tag my picture down in the corner down there, and the subscription button will pop up. And if you want to read more detail, we have a website, the same name as the channel. Just put a dash in between the words, and you can read this stuff in detail. You don't need me to tell you. You can just go to bed with it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.